Make it count, make it count, make it count. All right, y'all. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? My people, my people, my people. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Tim Black Show. Of course, my name is Tim Black. I want to say what's up to my people on YouTube, man. How y'all doing, YouTube? We're only one place tonight, and we got rid of that old software. Yep. Trying something different. We going back in time when Tim Black used the manual software called OBS. These were the good old days. Yeah, we're going back to the good old days, family. We'll see how things go. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. But then I figured, what the hell? I mean, you know what I'm saying? As long as we can connect. I want to say what's up to my Tim Black Wolfpack in the building. What's up, Wolfpack? I see my moderators. It's time for the moderators. It's time for the moderators. It's time for the moderators. I saw Black Mamba. I see Buck Bewley. And I'm scrolling to see. I'm just going to call it out. I see Ebony. If I don't see her in person, I see her in spirit. And then when we say, here in spirit. But I do see the Tim Black Wolfpack in the house. Number one on the board tonight, Irene Bertoni in the house. The amazing Irene Bertoni's in the house. Thank you, Irene. A set of steak knives. So what's happening, man? We're doing what we do on a Wednesday night here on the Tim Black Show. We get into it. The Tim Black Wolfpack is in the building. I see the amazing West Coast. Well, damn. Message retracted. What's up, Tay Diggs? What up, Tay? What up, DeMarda? DeMarda Williams is in the building. What's up, DeMarda? Anthony McDowell in the place, as well as Zen Soulful Being. Thank you for being here, Zen Soulful. Katie Lindsay, how you doing, Katie? DeAndre in the building. What up, D? Supreme. Odicio, the Black Rose. Man, I should just do the show just calling out names. Yeah, that'll be good. Kyle Lazur. Kyle Lazur's up in the building as well. Thank you, Kyle. Yeah, man, I'm seeing familiar faces in the places. Yeah, man, we doing what we do, man. Look, man, it's always It's always a journey and experience. We never know exactly what the technology gods got in store for us. So we just stay nimble on our feet, like Big Shaq. Big Shaq coming down the court. Bam! And look, man, we're going to have a good time tonight, but I got to be honest. I got to tell you guys, I'm a little down. Yeah, man, I'm fighting through it, man. I'm a little down. I was watching the Netflix special about the Katrina. Yeah, I was watching that, man, and I got to tell you, man, I don't know if down is the right word, but Jesus Christ, the devastation. And I remember right after that, right after Katrina happened, I was working for a small tech company, startup. And it was in the heart of D.C. Name of it is the Revolution Health Group. And I remember there was a guy named Dan who worked there, and he was from New Orleans. He was from New Orleans. And he told me once, I remember once I think it was lunch or break or whatever, we was talking, he was like, man, I said, where you from, man? He said, man, I'm from New Orleans, man, I'm from New Orleans. Big white guy, right? He said, man, lost everything. We all did. You know, I was like, damn. And until the day when I was looking at that documentary, when I'm looking at the first part, I only got through part 1, right? And I'm glad it went off because I was like, damn, Mrs. Black, I got a show to do. I'm glad this is it for number 1 because I can't watch no more and go do this show because it's so devastating. Can you imagine? Walk with me, y'all. Can you imagine being in a house that's filling up with water? And one of the survivors said, you can hear people scream. And then you just didn't hear him no more. And you know what that meant? There was one man retelling the story, recanting what he experienced, and he said, we went to the attic, and the water was rising and rising and rising, to the point we had to kick a hole in the ceiling and climb to the roof. And the uncle pulled us up on the roof one by one. It was the little ones, the big ones, and the grandma. And they was on the roof for some time. And the waters got so bad and so powerful and so plentiful that while they were sitting on the roof, the house broke from the foundation. And like the house is at 1615. It had floated all the way down to 1826 or something. It just floated. The house with them on the roof had floated down the block. And then what was the roof itself, it bumped into debris and it flipped over and they all fell into the water. Can you imagine? It's like you're living in a science fiction horror film, you know? But it's real. And the adrenaline, the fear, and all this time, it's got to be damn scary. It's got to be horrific to live through that, you know? And I'm just thinking, like, wow. And he said one of the toddlers, 3 or 4 years old, really hadn't learned to swim, but she was doing something. She was able to get around, and she climbed on top of this U-Haul truck, and she yelled out, "Pawpaw, pawpaw, pawpaw!" And that's when we were holding on for dear lives. We got to the U-Haul, and we climbed on top of the U-Haul, and climbed on top of a different roof. And he put one child on the thing on the roof, and he went to help somebody else, and the baby fell in the water. And he couldn't see it no more. Then he said his mom fell in. He couldn't see her anymore. And I had no time to grieve for him or even continue to look for him because I had all the rest of, it was like 5 more of us trying to survive, and I had to save the people I could see. But try. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, they rocked me to tears, man. all of a sudden things get put in perspective, don't it? When you hear stories like that. Yeah, and all of a sudden, I don't know. Some things don't make that much of a difference. The Cracker Barrel thing kind of doesn't become important anymore. You know what I'm saying? Kind of not, I don't care about your damn logo. America's changing. You're changing. Yeah, it kind of doesn't have a ring of urgency when you start thinking about the real things that people are going through. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, last thing let me mention, shortly before Katrina came, there was another hurricane that came like prior, right? Months earlier. And everybody got riled up about it and everybody was frantic and they went out and spent a lot of money they didn't have. Some people left town and spent money they didn't have. And just so happens that hurricane didn't hit. So by the time Katrina came, they were thinking, it'll be like that. You know, we got missed us last time, you know what I'm saying? You know, people believing in superstitions and something with some rocks or something, throw the rocks on the ground and do something and hold the rock with the edge on it. If you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. People believe in all types of things, right? But they had like 100,000 people that didn't have cars. So they didn't really have transportation. And what they had was that old funky-ass Superdome. Mrs. Black looked at me, she says, can you imagine being in that Superdome? I was like, nah, I can't. I'm pretty sure nobody else could either until they realized that's all they had. The only option they had was that Superdome. Anyway, man, rest in peace to all the people that did not survive. My condolences to the family members and friends, loved ones who lost loved ones. There's a song by Raphael Sadiq. Sad song. I remember having it on my phone. Yeah, it's on my phone somewhere. Whenever I play, like, I put my, something weird about the iPhone. You connect it to your car, right? And it would play like the last song. I only got like one song on my phone or something. You know what I'm saying? And it play that song. And it's about some people being missing in the water and never being seen again. Yep. Anyway, welcome to the Tim Black Show. My name's Tim Black. Here we cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and black culture. We do that on a regular basis. This is what we cover. Occasionally, I run into people, they say, Tim Black, man, why you talk so much about politics? I say, well, if this was a magician show, I'd talk about magic. It's a political show for the most part. I understand you're not interested. I don't need everybody. I just need somebody's. Yeah, I noticed. I was looking at my stats like, wow, some people have been upset. Yeah, some people have been upset with me, when I was, saying it, because I go far, you know what I'm saying? I don't like hedging. In this business, there's a lot of hedging. Never really know where people stand on issues. And I noticed I'm kind of losing people here, on the live show, like, supporting Snoop. When I said, Snoop has a right to to not feel good about taking his grandson to a PG movie and having questions of orientation and how can two women make babies. I know some people didn't like it because they left. I could see it on the stats, like, wow, 6 people. That's off of that. It's interesting. You think it's unfair that Snoop could feel the way he feels. A lot of people feel that way. They just don't say shit. And a lot of commentators probably agree with them. They won't say anything. So what it is in America, what typically it is whatever you're thinking, keep it to yourself, because it might be unpopular and it might hurt your pocket. Well, just so happens the people that left, they weren't paying anyway, so Hasta la vista, baby. Yep. One less egg to fry. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it happens, man. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? This show is brought to you by the Tim Black Wolfpack, man. I got great people. Luckily, I got great people that hang around. They put up with my crazy ass. I put up with them. But together, we try to tell a little bit of truth. But remember, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, this is not a news show. This is just friends having a conversation, baby. I may be slightly overdressed, but we just kicking it, fam. Pretend I just got home from the club. You know what I'm saying? This show is also brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. Legacy. Legacy's a beautiful thing, fam. Shout out to my man DJ Knock, I Man Oz, and Turin Walker. The Tim Black Show, politics for the people. That's what it says here, and that's my legacy. I do politics for the people. I don't do politics for Democrats. I don't do politics for Republicans. I don't even do politics for the Green Party. Nah, I do politics for the people, the people, the people. That's what I do. Anything else would be uncivilized. Yeah, man. I see the Wolfpack is in the building, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like button for us and try to share this out. I shared it on X because we're not on X tonight. And I think I shared it on Facebook as well because we're not on Facebook streaming. We're just here. Just here on YouTube with the people, man. That's what we're doing. Y'all ready to get going? See where this takes us? Yeah, you know, I didn't do much planning here. I just got some notes for one of our main stories or a topic that I need to have some, you know. But we're going to see where it goes. I got some clips lined up. Let's check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Auntie Bev here. I have 2 vocabulary words as it relates to that video. The first word is minstrel. It's a noun. In the early 20th century, minstrels consisted of white male entertainers who dressed up in blackface to entertain white audiences the way they believed blacks were perceived, as tap dancing, lazy, slow-talking buffoons. The second vocabulary word is optics. Optics is a perception of the way things are seen and presented in the public. A black Trump supporter, not in blackface, a real black man, tap dancing for a group of white Trump supporters has a certain optic about it.
Yeah.
Minstrel. Optics. Add those words to your vocabulary bank and make it your time, your shine. Auntie Bev speaks.
Man. Man, oh man, oh man. Give it up for her, man. That's a good one right there. My sister, my sister, my sister. Yeah, man, you know, something about tap dancing in front of a bunch of white folks. He looked proud, too, with his tight-ass jeans on. Just, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, man. I don't know why that's, I don't know why you would do such a thing, man, you know. And look, and if you ask him, he'll probably turn it around on us like, see, you're always thinking negative, blacks. You black people, it'll be him saying that. You black people always think negative things. We are friends, and friends are having a good time, and everyone's having fun except you. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's bad. Yeah, man. You know, I noticed that there's a number of these conservative types, man, who are doing that because the money's good. Yeah, the money's good for him, I'm sure. And make sure he gets a nice cold brew and gets to sit, you know, near the bathroom. And they might even let him make a little time with one of the slower people in the neighborhood or in the group, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird how that goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't date my sister, but we got a slow person down the block that's kind of slow, you know what I mean? You could, that'd be okay if you guys hung out. I just remember the movie Django when, you know, the Don Johnson character was trying to explain to the. Anyway, it's not important. We don't need to go there. I don't need to put all that on sauce on it. Let's just say, man, some of these Trump supporters, they don't get it, and you know, and contrary to popular opinion, fam, Democrats be doing the same tap dance. It just be the like go-go music or. What was Roland doing when he was dancing for Hillary? Because that's the first thing I thought when I saw it. I was thinking about him dancing with Hillary. Oh, Hillary. He was all proud of himself, too. Y'all remember Roland was dancing for Hillary? Little fat asses. No self-awareness at all. Yeah, I'm getting it. He just not understanding what this moment is. He had no idea for the next 10 years we gonna be using that shit. He just dumb. Get my iPad. For 10 years. And you know what? I'm gonna use that shit rolling for the next 10 years. Just you know, I see Roland a lot of his clips on social. He dances a lot. Somebody tell Roland his ass can't dance, please. Please somebody tell him. You know, all these Q dogs or whatever, these fraternity guys, they all think they got something special. No, you Greek pledging my. Listen, you didn't do anything special. You're not special, just a long line of elitist ass, bougie, boule types. All this sit your ass. You know. It is what it is. All right, guys. That's number one. Okay, that's my first story for the night. My first story for the night, man. Yeah, Roland, I'm petty. Call me Petty Tendergrass. Petty Pendergrass. That's it. Petty Pendergrass. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to get it? Let's get it, y'all. He's making sure you're on point. Like he doing something. Oh, my goodness, y'all. Why y'all going to encourage me, man? Don't be encouraging, man. I don't need it, man. I don't need y'all egging me on. I'll be up here all night just getting his ass, just tearing him up. Damn, I lost another 5 subscribers. Every time I have a good time, I lose people, man. Can I not enjoy myself? All right, let's go to the next story, Johnson. Oh, God, here we go. I hate when I got to cover stories like this, but I got to do it, Johnson. I got to do it.
And Richard, we're getting an update right now. Multiple victims here, and the shooter is believed to be deceased. Olivia, I'm going to go to you with more on that. What is the latest here?
Yeah, our team reporting, again, as you said, that there are multiple victims at this incident. Again, this is at the Annunciation Church School in Minneapolis. And the suspected shooter here, as you said, Diane, is believed to be deceased. And this is from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Local police, again, are assisting here. Federal is assisting here. State authorities are assisting here. Everyone working together to clear these buildings and anything in the immediate area, Diane.
Yeah, and it sounds like this is a situation where you have the church and then you have the school connected to that. And the details that we are able to pull about this school is that it goes from pre-K, preschool through 8th grade. The student population at that school is over 320 students, according to U.S. World News and Report. And from their website, Annunciation provides comprehensive education, faith formation, and enrichment activities for children from preschool through 8th grade. And now we are hearing from the governor that police are responding to this horrific act of violence at this Catholic school. And they just started school this week, right, Isabel?
That is correct. And Pamela, if I can add this, from their website, it looks like they would have been, that the all-school mass would have likely been underway at the time. So we're looking at a calendar. So school mass would have been underway. Obviously, we're reaching out to across many avenues trying to get more details as to what happened here.
That is very sad. All right.
Yeah, I thought there was more to that. Let's go back on the mainstream here. Okay, this is what I got in regards to the Minneapolis shooter, folks. Name of the shooter is Robin Westman. Took the lives of 2 children and injured many more at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The Minneapolis school shooter ID'd as trans woman Robin Westman as a parent manifesto included killing Donald Trump. This person was full of a lot of hate, Johnson. See if I can find it. I think I do have an image of the individual. I think I do have that here somewhere. Let's see if we can pull that up. Yeah, that's our shooter there. So many people will make this about left and right, when in reality, this is a radical person. Hated a lot of people. This, from what I could see, hated blacks, Jews, Hispanics, gays. It's crazy. How you gonna be LGBTQ and hate gays too? It's kind of weird. Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks wrote this. He said the shooter in Minneapolis was a trans neo-Nazi. That's the new one. He hated Trump. Oh, and hated Trump. This is a category I didn't realize existed. He hates Israel and Muslims. And then shoots up a church. Of all the psychopaths who become mass shooters or terrorists, this might be the strangest one. Folks, what we have here is a petri dish of hate. There'll be a lot of finger pointing over the next couple of days, of course, on both sides of the aisle about who's responsible. The right will blame mental illness, and ironically enough, trans something. And the left will blame guns and Trump for some reason. Because, well, what good is Trump if you can't blame everything on him that ever happens? We all know we never had mass shootings until Trump got elected. So there we go. And I'm being sarcastic, right? There is some sick. Move this over here. Just so it looks like I'm looking at it. I'm not. the things that this person wrote on the clips, and they had a lot of clips, very sick stuff, okay? Very sick stuff. Manifesto, I saw a video, looks like they confiscated the video from this person that he had taken, of course. Well, and it was him looking at a picture that looked like the inside of the Catholic school, and he was stabbing the picture and saying things to himself. I want to kill, I want to kill. Not only did he kill children, well, actually, I guess that is it, huh? I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. What else can you say? You got a person that that has human form but is not human and doesn't act in ways that are human. Whatever his beef was, how could it be with the children? So evidently, his idea is to hurt society, I guess. I don't know. People could just be psycho, right? I guess. I don't know. You know, that's another thing, folks. Another thing we should consider. Instead of pointing fingers at one another and blaming, Democrats blaming Republicans and vice versa, maybe we could just say, sometimes people are just warped. And whatever I say won't bring any of those children back. You know what I'm saying? And I won't know if I'm right anyway. I tend to believe that there's a lot of mental health issues across this country. I know that's a fact. And whenever I cover one of these stories, in the past I'd bring up all the statistics, I'd bring up these facts, but they never seem to get much better. You know what I mean? I've been doing this job for almost 15 years, and it doesn't get easier to report deaths. But it's a certain stink on it. It's a certain sorrow when it's babies. And just to hear people kick the can across the street, if he didn't have a gun, he couldn't have done it. Yeah, and if he wasn't a crazed killer, he wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I don't know, man. My politics on guns has changed. But it's hard to articulate it because I'm not saying I wouldn't wish for something different to have been done, because children lost their lives, so of course, I wish there was something different that could be done. But there's nothing that I could do or say that will make that happen. There's got to be a number out there somewhere, man. Is there a number we can give people for assistance? Maybe that's the best thing we could do. Let me do that, Johnson. Let me not pretend like I have the words for this, because I don't. Let me not have to pretend that something I'm gonna say on this podcast, is going to help people. So the mental health awareness number, you can always dial 988 to talk and connect with services. That's here in Maryland. I don't know how it is across the world or even across state lines, but I know in Maryland you can dial 988. That's the first thing that popped up. So if you're in Maryland, dial 988 if you need help. And since my phone knows where I'm at, they're trying to help me right now, so hope I don't get a wellness check. Yeah, people, man, I wish I had something I could say that would make this better. I just don't. I'm just damn sorry it happened. And I could go further into the story from what I know, but it doesn't get any better. It only gets worse. What type of person does this? And you'll find yourself asking yourself that question over and over and over again. And believe me, this is the story that took fire today. This is a story that caught a lot of attention. But I'm sure there are other stories that happened today that were just as horrific, that just did not make it above the fold, that will make you say the same thing. What kind of person does this? And that's when we start talking about Make America Great Again. Yeah, America's got some of these people too. America has some Robin Westmans. All right, guys, let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. You guys okay? All right. Monique Wade in the building. Thank you, Monique, for being here, as well as for the love. Monique sends several hearts that are broken. That's how I feel, Monique. That's how I feel. Wow. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's jump into another story real quick. All right, my name is Tim Black. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you like the content. Remember, we do this 4 days a week. Sunday, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brought to you by you, not here to help you be a better Republican or Democrat, just to open your head up to what's going on in this country and try to do that with some honesty and some ethics. And if I can make you laugh a little bit along the way, that'd be good too. What the hell? Life's too short. All right. Next. This will switch things up.
My background? Would you consider yourself African American? I consider myself Afro-Caribbean.
Yeah, did you notice? Who else noticed the name here? I thought that was interesting. Let me, Imani Ellis versus, sorry, Johnson, I'm trying to, Bekalis Almanzar, Bill Kalis. Okay, here we go. So, there's been a lot of backlash today about Cardi B because Cardi B be using N-I-G-G-A a lot, and Cardi B ain't even black. Notice she identifies black. She an Afro-Latina. Well, Afro-Latinas aren't black. They're Afro-Latinas. So people are upset about that. I don't even know what the trial's about. I think the trial's about asking, did she spit on somebody? Did she call him an N-word? She probably did call him the N-word. She uses it a lot. She probably, didn't mean it like anything negative. Maybe. I don't know. But here goes an idea, guys. And I'm just going to throw this out there. If you are not black, if you do not identify as black, if someone say, are you black? You say no. You can't do that. You can't use that word. Just pick something else. It's a whole lot of words, man. I got some books back here. They got all types of words in them. Thousands and thousands of words in these books. Why can't you just use another word? Why can't you just bring yourself to admit you're not these people? And when people, and look, and a lot of people have been complaining about black Americans delineating or trying to be like Native Americans, Indigenous Americans, Native Americans. And I know, I'm here, I know. Native Americans are very specific about their ancestry, very specific about where they come from. That's important to them. I think there's nothing wrong with people to feel that way. They want to feel pride, and they want to also protect their legacy, and they want to grow a legacy. And in the case of Black Americans, many Black Americans are, well, what we're trying to do is to try to get compensation or reparation for what the government did to us, what the U.S. government did to us, and continues to do. So it's important. It's not just about people's feelings. It's not just about shutting people out. It's for a reason that has to do with our futures and our past. So like I totally get the argument. And I agree. I think it's important to be who you are, to love who you are, whatever you are. And I respect that. I respect people who cherish their heritage. But someone needs to pull up Cardi B and tell her like it is. I don't give a damn if you grew up around Black people. You know, I don't care. You know? I grew up around all types of people too. I worked around all types of people too. Well, I didn't grow up around all types of people, but we did eventually move to a place where there were other people. But I was still Black. You know, so that doesn't it doesn't change me. As far as what I am, you know, my ethnicity, my ancestry, my bloodline, and where we're from, and the cultures and the customs of those people. It didn't change just because I moved somewhere when I was 12. Anyway, Cardi B catching hell. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but I am saying, yeah, I see where the criticism's coming for, and I don't disagree with the criticism. She a big girl, she could take it. And yeah. Yeah, you would think a person, but when I look at her name, that's the first time I ever saw her name. I'll be honest with y'all. I knew her, I guess if you asked me, seriously, do you think her real name is Cardi B? I'd be like, nah. But I would think it was something Cardina or something Carly, you know. I didn't know it was straight up like, you know, Dominican, I don't know what it is. What is that? Damn near Brazilian. I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go with Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, that's why Megan Thee Stallion gonna be twerking for the Democrats. I don't know, guys. It's just when you're someone and you're constantly saying N-word, 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 and then someone's like, okay, Belikas Carlibitus, what are you? And you're like, Afro-Latina. It just hits me wrong. Am I the only one? I guess I'm petty Pendergrass, but it just hits me wrong. Like, I expect her to go, look, I'm this, but I identify as Black. I'm Black. You know what I'm saying? Because I know Cameron does. Cameron's like, yo, my mom is this, my dad is this. I'm Black, yo. I'm just Black. Cameron said that. And whether you really are or not, he put it out there. He been living his life that way. And I respect that. Because he been using the N-word ever since I knew who Cameron was, which was like the early mid-90s. So I was expecting Cardi B to say something similar. I mean, she like jumping on live streams talking about Bernie. Bernie wants to do this for taxes, and I'm not going to vote for Trump. And what the hell is my tax going? And she all talking. But when it was an opportunity for her to talk, right here on this court case, and it would have went a long way with a lot of people. It would have went a long way for her to say, I'm Afro-Latino, but I identify as a Black woman. That would have meant a lot. And to anybody out there who doesn't understand what I'm saying, who's not Black, think about it. What if somebody was eating at your Cracker Barrel? What if somebody was always eating at your Cracker Barrel and wearing suntan lotion and using, white slurs? Gotcha. Aren't any white slurs. There's Italian slurs and Polish slurs. But there's no white slur because white ain't a real thing. It's just what white supremacists made up to treat us bad. Ain't no real thing as white. Anyway, guys, that's how white supremacy gets to work. That's what they did. They created it for that. So that's why there's really no white slurs. That's why it's hard to find it. And I know it's tough, right? Because on Twitter, on Elon Musk's platform, he got all the white guys, all the young white men swearing to God they're being marginalized because they're white. Well, there ain't even no such thing as white. Not really. Also, there's no such thing as black. Shout out to DJ Knock. He gonna like that I said that. He might even text me like, yo, man, yeah, that's good. That's good. Because he don't like that white black stuff. All right, family, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I still, like I said, call me Petty Pendergrass, but I think it would have meant something. It would have meant a lot. Tasha K, it would have meant a lot. If Cardi B would have said, I'm Afro-Latina, but I'm a black woman. She could have done that. She could have done that. But just like when she talks about politics, she didn't know what the hell to say. Hey, look, at least she's consistent, right? All right. Give it up for that. Give it up for that, y'all. Hit the like button. Let the algorithm know. We're talking that stuff again tonight. That's right. You can't escape. We're going to be talking some real stuff tonight. You know what I mean? All right, fam. Next. I know y'all getting bored, man. Somebody got to ask you, did you spit on somebody? What were you up to? Did you spit on her? Okay, let's go to something that can cheer us up a little bit. Let's go to this.
If you don't hurt people, you ain't got to
towards me again.
Shut your ass up.
Okay, you better not step towards me again.
Shut your ass
You
up.
right.
I'm right here.
Okay, take another step.
Physical distance.
I know.
Arms
You
length.
right.
I know
Listen,
I'm
you
right.
got
I'm
the right
right.
one.
I know I'm
You got
right.
the right one.
I know I'm right. You shouldn't have a badge on, you fucking bully. Too emotional. This is what's going on. If the people in the community are mad about what y'all doing, you should be listening to what they say and trying to fix it. Not getting in their face talking about, I wish you would, because I will. I'm not scared. You see how many of y'all, comrades, walk 50 feet that way. Walk 50 feet that way. Excuse me, can y'all back up just a little bit? I want to display something. I'm by myself. I'm not scared of all of y'all. Right? I'm telling you, if black people are brutalized in Philadelphia, we gonna get involved. We don't want to get involved. We want to serve the community together. We want to stop the drugs and stuff together. But you can't be on both sides of the line. So you can't be punching people or stepping on their head or laughing at them while they're having a seizure and then want somebody to be nice to you. You see what I'm saying? If I did that, my comrades did that, I'd fuck my comrade up. My comrade wouldn't be walking around next to me in a uniform, and I wouldn't care if I got fired or sued or any of that shit because I stand for it. You supposed to stand for that. You see what I'm saying? So if you, right, but that shit right there wasn't me. I hear you, but what I'm saying to you is I'm telling you why. I'm telling you where this anger come from. You see what I'm saying? If the police don't brutalize people in this neighborhood, we don't got to get with the police. But if we get video sent to us of that, we going to come yelling and screaming and ready to fight.
Guess what? You got a right to bullshit.
It's not funny. That's why you're a pig. See, police officers that serve the community, they cool. But when police officers laugh at people having seizures because they slammed them on the ground, that's a pig, right? When police punching you is not part of their policy. That's a pig, right? The police officer says I would dignify everyone I encounter during the commission of my ship. If they're not dignifying everybody they come encounter with, that's a pig. It says I would treat everybody with courtesy and respect. If they hop out talking like this, bald-headed bully, that's a pig. You understand what I'm saying? That man is black in the black community being a pig, right? I want y'all to know the difference. I also want you to know that you do not have to be scared of them. See what I'm saying? You don't got to be scared of them. You understand? I will get into it with them and die before I let them do anything to you, sister. You don't got to be scared of them. And more black men in this community need to get their rag. I got my record expunged. I got a gun license right here. More black people need to get their record expunged, and they need to get legally armed so that they're not the only ones with the guns. So that the punching and the slamming and the putting the foot on the head, all that shit stops. Because all three of those things happen in that camera, and they're not going to happen while I'm here.
I got you. What's your name, sir?
My name is Paul Birdsong. I'm the chairman of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. What's yours?
Listen, we're here to be peaceful. We're just here to make sure nothing goes wrong.
That's what I'm here for.
We don't need no hostility.
There is hostility.
Listen.
If you don't want hostility, hold your comrades accountable.
Okay.
Every officer that's in that tape should be arrested.
I remove them, right?
What about the officers that slammed that man in there and laughed as he had a seizure?
Well, we can take care of that. We can take care of that.
Oh, we gonna take care of it. We already filed a lawsuit on every badge number in the video.
You can't make threats. Okay?
I didn't make a threat. I responded to one. He said it. I said, we're the Panther Party's here. We're not gonna let you beat up on anybody here. That's not a threat. That's us defending ourselves. We're the Black Panther Party for self-defense. He got out the car and said if I interfere with him doing his duty, it's gonna be a problem. I said your duty's not to punch nobody, right, or kick nobody, or laugh when anybody's having a seizure. So if you illegally put your hands on somebody, I'm gonna intervene. I don't care if it's a problem. I'm not just voicing my opinion. I'm telling you that the black people will not be the victims of the police in this community no more while we're here. Okay. That's all I'm saying. And I'm gonna recruit brothers around here. So when I leave, they're gonna continue not being the victims.
Okay.
Right, all right. You hold your comrades accountable. I make sure mine do the right thing too. Black power.
Black power.
Wow, family, that is right. That is well, damn it, Johnson. Let me give it up for that. You know, that's something you don't see every day. That is something you don't see every day, right? And it's happening. And if you didn't see that clip, it was still happening. And when they're up here talking all that nonsense on X or on Facebook or on TikTok about what black men ain't doing and we don't care about our neighborhoods and we're not accountable, where are the videos? I'm going to go there. Where are the videos of white guys doing that? Where are the videos of white guys doing that in their communities? Where that's overrun with drug addicts and meth labs and breaking the entries and all that shit. Where are they at? Are they approaching cops, putting their lives on the line as they ask who you are? Like, I have never seen videos of white guys having to defend their neighborhoods to cops. Now, we know it's a little different with the politics of it all. We know it's a little different about the treatment, right? But I just thought I'd slide that in because everywhere I go online, I keep seeing these people talking about black people need to be accountable. Well, this brother here is being more than just accountable. He's being a leader. And not leading to hate. See, when I happen to see white guys that are leading, they're leading their people towards hate of other people. That's what I see. And that's the problem. But back to this guy. Let me say this, man. Protect that brother at all means. By all means, protect that brother who's down to protect you. You understand what I'm saying? We need to protect him. Because that's the best of us. What you just saw there is the best of us. That's the best inclination. That's the best model of manhood, which is standing up for something bigger than yourself, willing to put yourself in harm's way for others. And he was saying a lot there. He was saying, like, look, if what you guys did to one of us, if we did that to one of us, they get dealt with. And that's what I don't think people understand. It's not like we want these things to continue in our neighborhoods. And we do want accountability. And we will hold each other accountable. And that's where it's at. That's not being funded by the government. That's not because Trump put out a plan. He didn't put out a plan to help black people or to fund Black Panthers or to fund organizations on the grassroots level to build within the communities. Right? Get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, Trump's sending the troops into these cities. Well, right now, just one, right? D.C. And we know the difference. We know it's a federal land. We talked about this, but he's talked about doing it other places as well. What if those cities could activate organizations and groups within those own cities that were there to help do the same thing? So, and I know it's already present. I believe there are already many organizations on the ground already, all across the country, in towns all across this country, who are trying their best with very little resources. And I just believe that's true. I've known of them. I've talked to some people over the years. I worked as a community organizer before I started doing concerts. This was back in the 90s. So I come from a background of doing such. And I'm aware of organizations that were on the ground doing these things. Back to the brother, man. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad it was caught on film. I'm glad it did not escalate. Now to the bad part. That cop that looked like he did not deserve to wear a badge. That cop that was threatening him. That cop, all right, I got you. You got the right one. And all that barking and woofing. I want people to recognize he checked that cop and recognized those other cops around him. Just stood there. They just stood there and let that guy act out of line. What would that cop have done if he wasn't with all those people? What would that cop have done if he wasn't on camera and there wasn't all these witnesses? What would he have done? Yeah. So this idea, these notions, these narratives, they're just narratives, guys. All this negative talk about this group of people don't care about their communities, this group of people doesn't. Black people don't care about their communities. Black people, too wrapped up on this and victim mentality. They look like victims to you. They look like people standing up for their rights. Something the people that are pointing at black Americans aren't even concerned with. Not on the level. Not when they're stuck in their houses, looking on their cell phones, looking on their smartphones, and listening to rhetoric from people with bad intentions, bad narratives. And I think that's most of America, man. Most of America is trapped behind a screen, don't know anything about what's going on in the country, not really, and believing whatever someone that looks like them is telling them. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of the problem. That's why we try to do this independent media thing, fam. That's why this is important. It's necessary. It's necessary because you're not gonna get that on Fox News, and you know what? You're not gonna get it on CNN either. You won't get it on CNN until somebody gets shot by a white cop. Then they put it on CNN. And I need my people. I need everybody to understand that. We understand that now. More and more of us, no, not now, we've been understanding it, but more and more people are understanding that now, who didn't understand it before. And I think the whole country's waking up to these facts. You know what I'm saying? Because the numbers have gone down. We're in an awakening period. I was on a Twitter space with some guys. King Naheem and Ibrahim and couple other brothers for Hope in the Twitter space had an opportunity to speak on that space. And I was telling those folks, man, how touched I was just to have them having a positive, informative dialogue like this. And what the issues they were talking about, they were addressing, it wasn't stuff I was used 5 years ago. I hadn't even been privy to. Like seeing that amount of focus on important community building type of awareness of what's going on in the community and what's going on with the cable news and understanding the false narratives. I mean, I'm trying to tell y'all, their ratings are in the tank because not just black Americans, but all Americans are waking up to their bullshit. Think about that. I mean, what other evidence do you need except all their ratings are garbage? That's showing you people are cutting it off. See what I'm saying? People are turning away from the false narratives. So it's an opportunity, man. And if you have a desire to be a part of the movement, join us. Join us. Become a part of the Tim Black Wolfpack. And if you have a desire to be your own voice, do that too. Do that too, man. Join this independent media thing. Because I'm telling you, I believe we got a short window of time. Because they're going to come out with something else. They're either going to cancel us all or lock the door on independent media. They're not going to go quietly. Right now, what are they doing? Every time somebody gets fired, what do? They went over here and try to become independent media. Yeah, all of a sudden they want to be independent now. They spent 20 years taking millions of dollars repeating whatever the corporate media narrative was. And then when they lose their job, what they want to do, they want to start saying, hey, bro, black people this and black people that. Black people, black people, black people. Look at Joy Reid. What was Joy Reid doing before? Huh? Calling y'all a bunch of clout-chasing bots. Bunch of clout-chasing bots. What was Tiffany Cross doing? Calling y'all a bunch of Kevin Samuels, Tariq Nasheed hating bots. Russian bots. And then when people lose their jobs, now they native pod. Now they are black people. We defending black people. Yeah, man. I'm just saying, man, don't fall for the okie doke. When you had millions of dollars at your disposal, when you had a humongous platform, when you could have been standing up, you didn't. So you're going to lose your platform. When you had your own show. At least when Arsenio went out, he brought on Farrakhan. What'd you do? Yeah, Arsenio lost his shit. He saw the doors closed and said, I'm going to do something that's going to stand the test of time. And he brought on controversial figure. What'd they do? Cry about losing their jobs. It was all about them. It wasn't about us. Just wake up to the nonsense, man. Just wake up to the nonsense, man. Don't fall for the okie doke. Look, independent media, that's the way. Independent media, Johnson. Because if you taking a check for them people, you making millions of dollars, you got millions of reasons not to stand up for the people. It is what it is. Everybody need money to survive. And I've never had to walk away from millions. I walked away from tens of thousands, though. And I'm going to tell you something. That hurts when all you're making is tens of thousands. So I walked away from tens of thousands. And that makes me like that's like superhero shit. Because most people won't even do that. All right, that's it. I'm gone. I'm done. Nothing but love for y'all. Go to timblacktv.com. That's my website. I got ebooks. They're free. They don't cost you shit. Nothing. You don't have to pay nothing to get resources here. But you got one requirement. Use them. Read them. All right, next. Let's get back, man. Let's get back to it, man. Let me stop preaching, man.
If you don't hurt people,
don't
you ain't
step
gonna
towards me again.
Shut your ass up.
Okay, you better not step towards me again.
Shut your ass.
My brother. Man, that's me right there, man. Shut your ass up. All right, guys. Let me see what we have here. Hold on a second. We're doing pretty good. We're moving right along, people. We're moving right along. Okay. Trump for $10.
You said you wanted to allow 600,000 Chinese students to study in the United States. Could you and the Secretary clarify what is the policy on Chinese students in the United States?
Well, we think we're getting along very well with China. And I'm getting along very well with President Xi. I think it's very insulting to say students can't come here because they'll go out and they'll start building schools and they'll be able to survive it. But I like that their students come here. I like that other countries' students come here. And you know what would happen if they didn't? Our college system would go to hell very quickly. And it wouldn't be the top colleges. It would be colleges that struggle. on the bottom, and you take out 300,000 or 600,000 students out of the system. I like having, and I told this to President Xi, that we're honored to have their students here. Now, with that, we check and we're careful and we see who's there, and Marco wants that. We spoke, we're in the same position. But we have a tremendous college system, the best in the world, nobody even close. That's why China sends them here. And you can call it an industry if you want, but you're talking about millions of people. And I'm honored to have the students from China come here. And we're just getting along very well with China.
Yo, so look, this is true. This is true, man. Okay, so this came up during a Twitter live stream, man. Check this out. So Trump announced allowing 600,000 Chinese students into the U.S. universities amid trade talks. Now, earlier, he had announced revocations of Chinese student visas for security reasons. So this contradicts his whole America First initiative, right? And he's getting called out from people on his base, like Bannon, Green, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and other people. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about it? I feel like it deserves pushback. Yeah, man, if you're running on doing something and you do the opposite of what you said you were going to do, you say, I got good reasons, though. I got real good reasons for why I'm doing what I'm doing. Well, you probably had good reasons for doing the other thing, too. And I'm sure whoever did what they were doing before you did what you did had reasons for doing what they did. Okay? And here goes the spin. But at the end of the day, fam, it just looks like just don't like Latinos. Yeah, you know, people that I know who like Trump's stand on immigration were never like, ooh, just get Latinos. Yeah, then no, I never supported that. Just go and get a certain group of people. Nah, man, all immigration can be hurtful, no matter who it is. And when I don't think people understand, and I guess we got to keep going over the numbers about Black Americans, because people tend not to understand what Black America is right now. I can never overstate it, okay? The average Black family is worth about 10% of the average white family. The average Black family is worth about 10% of the average white family. I know there are poor white people. I know there are poor Hispanic people. I know that there are poor Asians. They exist. But I'm telling you, on average, if the average white family was worth 10% of the average Black family, America would be on fire. If the average white family was worth 10% of the average Asian family, it'd be over. But see, I just think a lot of people are just used to Black people being on the bottom, and they're real comfortable with it. They're just comfortable with Black people as basically being the carpet that everybody steps on. And as long as it stays that way, they're happy. And they don't much have an urgency to fix anything because they're not on the bottom of anything. I mean, really not on the bottom of anything, except raisins in their potato salad. And if that's the way it stays, I mean, just opt to get the mac and cheese. You know, just switch to another side. Get coleslaw instead. That's how they look at it. And I understand that there are people that just don't know these numbers, man, but you got to understand. When we talk about wealth, we're talking about people's ability to buy homes, to put their kids through college. Black America's been voting for Democrats for 50 years straight. And what do we get for that? Nothing. We moved about 4% in home ownership in 50 years. We're still around 40% of home ownership. 40% of Black Americans own their own home. Over 70% of white Americans own their own homes. And over 50% of Hispanics own their own homes. It's been that way for almost 50 years for us. That's not good enough. So when you have those types of numbers, right, what I'm saying only makes sense for us. I understand you may feel differently because you're in a group that makes 70%. 70% of y'all have homes, right? So maybe you feel differently because you're in that 70%. If you're of the 30% of white Americans who don't have their own homes, we got something in common. You don't get to go, oh no, I'm broke too. Well, let's do something about that. Yo, we should not be broke in the richest country in the history of countries, yo. Don't be goofy and go, well, I'm broke, so you're broke, so what's the problem? Nah, I don't want to be. I don't want black people. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. They didn't build the country all for you for free. When you worked, you got paid. Then when your town started to prosper, no one blew it up with literal planes. They didn't flood your shit out of existence because they were jealous you were doing well. That never happened. Things are tough for you because your great-granddaddy was a booze hound. Things were tough for my great-granddaddy because he was black. I got a book out. It's an ebook. It's short. It's not even an ebook. It's an infographic. But I come up with these things and I put them in, create them. I try to make them visually appealing and important and easily readable, very accessible. And in it, we compare slavery to indentured servitude. Because a lot of people compare the two. And in my ebook, that's my latest ebook, I show you the big differences between the two. Here goes one freebie. Indentured servitude wasn't for forever. Roughly for 4 to 7 years. Slavery was for forever. Not only forever, it was inherited. Any kids you had were automatically slaves. And the kids they had were automatically slaves. You understand what I'm saying? That's not how indentured servitude worked. So stop talking to me about the Irish. They had a contract. We had a receipt. Anyway, so damn it, I don't even know where we were. Look, Trump's wrong. Trump is wrong. I look at it like this. I bet you Trump always planned to do this as leverage against Chinese or just China to have better negotiation tactics. Yeah, when I see stuff like this, I'm always thinking, everybody's not dumb. Like, Trump probably knew all the universities were going to come for his ass. He already knew this wasn't going to hold, right? His initial statement. But he knew his people wanted him to say it, right? So you do it, you say it, you do whatever, and then you renege. Then you have an explanation. You'll lose people, but he in office now, right? He won. And now look at what's happening. Going back on his word. Yep. Now, those people from China coming here because they can't find no job? Are they coming here because their ribs are touching and they're starving? Or are they coming here because they just want to go to school here? Anyway, it is what it is, Johnson. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. We're running a goal. We got a goal here. Goal is up in the chat. Check the chat, guys. We got a goal. Looking for 5 donations. Hit up the chat. Ask a question. I answer your question. Trying to do different things on the show. That's all. Trying to do different things on the show. I'll just say for Trump and for this particular segment, actually, I'm glad to see people questioning Trump. It lets me know maybe not everybody's brain dead. You know what I'm saying? Maybe everyone's not just blindly, just zombies. It's good. Now, if Democrats were able to do that with Biden, I'd feel better about them, but they weren't. They let Biden open up the floodgates and do whatever he wanted to do, and then they chastise you for even questioning the guy. Yeah. So right now, what's being displayed, people pushing back on Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who not somebody I like, but when was the last time Jasmine Crockett pushed back on Biden or Kamala? I'm just wondering. I mean, tell me they never did anything that they were unexpected to do, or did they ever fail to achieve or do what they said they were going to do? Of course they did. And when was the last time Jasmine Crockett pushed back? And believe me, Trump is a lot more powerful and a lot more dominant in his party than Kamala was in hers. And when was the last time Jasmine Crockett stood up to them? Never. See, these are things I pay attention to. So everybody, all these left wing, all the liberal pundits, they're going to have a whole lot to say, right? But they don't hold their own people accountable for shit. Bannon was a Trump guy all day. He's criticizing Trump publicly over this. We just talking, we just having a conversation. But when was the last time? I don't know. You know, when was the last time somebody close to the Clintons or close to the Bidens or close to Kamala actually called them out on their bullshit? You know I do it, but I'm nobody. I don't got no power. Yeah, where are all these people? Where they at? See what I'm saying? That's hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. But see, you can't stand Marjorie Taylor Greene, so you don't want to admit I'm right, because you can't stand her so much. You can't stand Bannon, so you don't want to admit I'm right, because you can't stand him so much. And that, my friends, is part of the problem. Can't call a thing a thing. I'm up at night to 3 and 4 in the morning wrestling with these ideas. Yeah, man, wrestling with these ideas, man. I didn't get this way to be able to look through this bullshit. I don't gotta like these people. That ain't part of my job. Liking them is not part of my job. I'm like Denzel Washington in Fences. You eat, you got a roof over head. As long as you live in my house, you put a sir on it, on the end of it. What you go through life. That's right. Me and your mother worked that out between us. And liking your ass wasn't part of the bargain. Now get your ass down to the A&P. All right, look, guys, we got a lot to do. We got more to get to here for the Tim Black Show. Hit the like button, ask a question, drop a donation, support the independent media. Let me see how you work. And let's keep it going, man. I got a little bit more content to get to tonight. All right. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack to keep the show moving. Go to timblacktv.com, become a member at jointimblack.com. $5 a month. That's all. You can do it. $20 less than your Netflix. All right, let's go. What else we got, fam? What else do we have?
You said you wanted to allow 600,000 Chinese students to study in the United States. Could you and the Secretary clarify what is...
Here we go. Oh, this is funny. Y'all ready?
I've been a Hulk Hogan fan. I'm a black wrestling fan. I've been a Hulk Hogan fan since I was 10 years old, 6 years old. I have followed the sport of wrestling. And I don't care about anything they're talking about. For them to tarnish this man's legacy, the only reason they're doing that is because he was a Trump supporter and because he spoke at the RNC and he spoke at the thing to get Trump.
This guy is one of the biggest crash outs I've seen in modern times. Yeah, it's seldom that you see a guy crash out like this guy did. I got wind of him when I saw him crashing out with Amanda Seals in that Jubilee thing. Yeah, that Jubilee thing where that Chinese guys got the Jubilee thing where he tries to get black people to go against black people. You know you heard about it, right? But anyway, he was on there with Amanda Seals. He was debating Amanda Seals. And he was just saying any type of old crazy shit. So, I don't know. I saw him on Twitter, and yeah, he was crashing out. Here he is crashing out. He was crashing out about people talking about Hulk Hogan. And notice here he says, black people were mad. First of all, it says they. he don't refer to himself as black. He's like, those black people, these black people, those people. He's like, those people, like whenever a black person uses they, them to describe something he's a part of, I'm like, something ain't right about this guy. But this guy, he said people were giving Hulk Hogan shit because he supported Trump. That's not why they were giving him shit. At least that's not why I was giving him shit. Giving him shit because he used the N-word a few times, and it wasn't in a nice way, like in an Eminem song or some shit. He used it, not like he was rapping DMX lyrics, right? So that's what it was about. But this goofy, he so want the money, trying to get the dollars, the grifting, because there's a lot of money on the conservative white end. If you become their puppet dog, they will hit you, they will hook you up. Now, here he is crashing out.
Doing that is because he was a Trump supporter, and because he spoke at the RNC, and he spoke at the.
He don't even prepare his remarks. He does not prepare his remarks at all. He just comes out. He says any old dumb stuff, and then it doesn't work out.
Thing to get Trump elected. This is disgusting, and they ought to be sued for defamation.
Black people want to get mad at me when I say the truth, because we don't like to hear the truth. But here is the truth. I have never had a bad encounter with the police. So what we have a new thing in the black community is
he never had a bad encounter with the police. That's you. You're just one person, dog. I understand that. I never was shot, but I heard bullets hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean no one else has ever been shot. Never been stabbed, but I heard getting stabbed hurts like hell too. Burns. You know what I'm saying? I believe it. I heard childbirth can be painful. Never given birth, but I know it exists. See, what he's saying don't make any damn sense. And pretty much that's how he goes, that's how it is. Here he's saying how black people don't take accountability, and if we would just listen to cops, as if every cop in America he's had a chance to talk to and know where their heads are at. He's had the ability to go meet all the cops and talk to all of them. Like he was at their convention and he met every cop in America and he talked to them and said, you guys are great. I met all of them. I did psych evaluations on all of them. None of them are racist. None of them are trigger happy. Now, when I was right after high school, when I worked at Prince George's County Mall as a security guard, I became familiar and friendly with a number of Prince George's County cops. And I know for a fact, and this, folks, I put this on everything I love, baby. I met some cops that like beating people's ass for a pastime. This is legit facts. And I met some racist cops, and not all of them were white. Right, okay? Who wanted to beat up black guys, and some of them were black. Not that many white people in Prince George's County to beat up, by the way, if you're on certain jurisdictions. But anyway, so the point is, this guy's full of shit. But let's keep going.
We want to play victim because we love to play victim. So we'll have a person completely resist arrest, right? They'll right. The minimal thing is I would have all the empathy for black people that are assaulted by police. If I saw a video cam where they were doing everything they were supposed to do, they were law-abiding citizens and they had no criminal record and they were just doing what they were supposed to do.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Yeah, he says he would have all the empathy in the world for a black person who was assaulted by a cop if that person did everything he was supposed to do and didn't have a criminal record and never spit on the sidewalk, and it was a Tuesday and it wasn't but past 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and his shoelaces were not untied, and he helped old lady cross the street before he saw him, he had just helped the old lady cross the street, and his nickname, it can't be Dusty or Shotgun or Tornado, and he likes his cheese, Sicilian cheese, not that Neapolitan shit, and He got all these qualifiers. Earth to dum-dum. Cops can't assault you because assault's against the law, dumbass. Not because you didn't commit a crime, not because you never spit on the sidewalk, not because you listened to everything, not because none of those qualifiers mean cops get to break the law. They got laws too, dumbass. But what I find rich is part of his argument was that black people are victims. That black people are victims. They all want to be victims, right? Keep that same energy. Stay right there, y'all. Keep that same energy. This shit is hilarious. You can't make this up.
I've been a Hulk Hogan fan. I'm a black wrestler.
Black wrestler. That fool said black wrestler, y'all. He said black wrestler. Is there such thing as a black wrestler fan? If you're going to be a grifter, at least learn how to grift.
What they were supposed to do.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
So this is me cleaning out my classroom because I resigned because I was targeted in my school for my political beliefs. So this is my classroom, me getting my stuff. And yeah, I was targeted. I was told in so many words that if you don't stop speaking about certain political things, that you will be fired. And then I was targeted afterwards with a bunch of petty stuff to get me to leave my job. So, you know, shouldn't be happening in any workplace for conservatives or Christians or, and this is a Christian school, but it's predominantly black. These are run by black Democrats. And yeah, my classroom, and yeah, it's not right. But I'm okay because I have, I always contracted work.
Stop crying. Stop being a victim, man. Why you being a victim? Go start a business. What you being a crybaby for? Take accountability, sir. Where's your accountability? See, if you'd have done everything, look, I would feel bad for you, man. Hold on a second. I'd probably feel bad for you, man, if you had done everything you were supposed to do. When they told you to do it, they say jump, you're supposed to jump. And don't come back on the ground until they tell you to. Yeah, man, I feel bad for you, man. But see, this is what I think, Hambone. I think you was on company time sitting in your car shooting half that bullshit videos. Yeah, that's what I think. I think you go out, you wasn't doing your damn job. You one of them lazy Negroes. You look lazy. You go out doing hours while you supposed to be at work. Because I saw the videos, you always sit in your car, you always had that little cheap-ass medallion thing around your neck. You was always looking out the window like a runaway slave. Like, yeah, and black people, and black people, and then I don't know why black people, you always look like you was, sneaking to shoot your video. That's because your ass is at work. Your punk ass supposed to be working. Meanwhile, you up there bashing black people. And that shit ain't work out too well for you. You thought this was going to be your ticket to stardom. Your ass need a speech class. You need a speech class. You need an ideology that's not as just hate black people. Yeah, you need to play different than that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to come with something better. You can't do Candace Owens. It ain't going to work for you. You ain't going to be able to do Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum was an officer for 2 minutes. He been riding that shit for 10 years. He was an officer for a year or two, and he been using it for 10 years. You ain't been an officer. You ain't gonna be able to use that. You don't have any expertise. Yeah, and for the record, Johnson, nobody can talk crazy in this world who has a regular job. Nobody can get online on social media and talk crazy using their real name. Use their real name, talk crazy like that, and keep a damn job, you dumbass. And notice how he was trying to talk normal now. Well, what happened to me? I can't believe what they did here. This is crazy. I can't believe this. And this is despicable. This should not happen to anyone. And I'm a Christian black man, and I have Christian conservative beliefs. And that's but that's not how he was talking on the videos. Yeah, and black people, that's so stupid. Why the black you was sounding like Roland Martin's little cousin. Yeah, Johnson, you was loud. Loud and indignant when your ass was sitting in the car with them acoustics around you in your little Plymouth, whatever that is. Where was that? Honda, whatever you're sitting in. Your Z28, your IROC Z28. I don't know what that is. Yeah, you was talking mad shit. Oh, you was loud and boisterous. Now you all knew that, I don't know what they did. I don't see that little tear coming out your eye. I don't know why they did this to me. It's wrong what they did, you know, but it's okay. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to go here and get something from the soup kitchen. I'm going to go move in with my mama again. I know I'm 38. That looks dumb, but I'm going to go do it anyway. My wife already left me anyway. We were already split up. Now maybe I can get some child support from her, even though she got the kids. Maybe I could go to the DL School of Articulation and learn how to pontificate and elaborate, elucidate action verbs in a sentence from Proverbs to Ezekiel to when I speak yo. Yeah, man, I don't feel bad for this guy at all. I don't. Like I said, man, these grifting days, the grifters got to go, fam. The grifters got to go, man. We do not have time for the grifters, the sellouts. I have nothing against people being conservative. Nothing against conservatives at all, man. I have grown. I have learned that was just like, that was what the Democrats round me up to say that shit. I realize that Democrats and Republicans both suck. And there are things I agree with on the conservative side, and there are things I agree with on the more left side. There are things I agree with still. I still think everybody deserves health care. I still think that should be a human right. I will never change from that. But I also feel people should be able to protect themselves. Okay? People should have the right to bear arms. I believe those two things. And just for believing that, I'm out the progressive group because they're not understanding at all. But if I was a conservative and I said I'm a conservative, but I believe everybody deserves health care, they wouldn't throw me out. That's because of all the bullshit the left talk, they are a lot less tolerant. They are. I've seen it. I lived it. I know it. All right, guys. Somebody tell your boy, the guy crying, man. Yeah, you work at a religious school, a Christian school, and you got all that hate in your conversation. See, he went and did that Jubilee thing with Amanda Seals. And he thought, oh, this is my ticket. Yeah. And all it did was make your profile get big enough for people to see it and people to hear what you really think. It's the way you would talk about black people. That's a predominantly black school. He teaches at his words were, he teaches at a predominantly black Christian school. And they wanted his ass up out. Because they were offended that you talk like that. And it looks like you in the South. Not a blue state. That's because the shit you talking is not just Democrat or Republican. It's repugnant. Okay? It's repugnant, offensive to black Americans. White people didn't want you gone. Black people wanted you gone. And since you black, they were able to do it. Now, hit the bricks, Sammy. Damn, that feel good. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. All right. My last story for tonight, just before we get to that. Remember, guys, this is a Tim Black show. We do this Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's right, Johnson. Join us, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, get access to all my long-form content, and I do a lot of long-form content. We don't play games. I got the best moderators in the business. Buck Booley, Black Mamba, and Ebony. And I got the greatest community in the world, the Tim Black Wolfpack. Yeah. And we stand for business. We don't play games. And I'm what you call a Democratic Party hater. Remember that. All right. Y'all ready for the last segment? What time is it? How we doing? Damn, did I start early? How long we been going, Johnson? 150, not too bad. It's all good. We only go as long as we need to go to get our point across. Y'all ready? This is going to be a good one. Y'all ready? Y'all locked and loaded? Woo. A little hot of here. Okay. Okay. Y'all ready to go? Okay. Hope this chrome dome don't blind y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hope the head don't blind. All right. Last clip of the night. Buck Bewley in the building. All right. We canceled recess. All right. my people, what's up, Ken Hunter? She cooks and she roasts. Blue Ebony in the house. Yeah, give it up for that. Give it up for the Blue Ebony. How we doing on the goal? We got our money goal to be reached. Oh, man. 1 of 10. 1 of 10. All right. My people. Thank y'all. Who did that? Who did it? I'm supposed to take questions. El Negro Hotep in the building. My brother. All right. Okay, so here we go, Josh. Let's jump back into it.
I've been a Hulk Hogan fan. I'm a black wrestling fan. I've been a Hulk Hogan fan since I was 10 years old.
I'm a black wrestler fan. I mean, everybody got to have a dream, but, you know, damn. What was he thinking? All right, guys, here we go.
Recently and talked about taking his grandkids to go see the Lightyear movie a couple years ago.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, then she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it fucked me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Okay, so a couple of things here. This is another example of why I told you that we should have gone out to see the Lightyear movie in droves, okay? Because this is what happened. The movie came in light, and then it was carte blanche for everybody to like criticize the movie or whatever. Oh, we'll go broke, whatever. Put that to the side. I'm going to do something for the homies, for all of the homies, other older homies. I'm going to tell them two things. One, just so you know, it's your job to explain things to kids. That's your job. So if you don't want to explain things to children, then you should not be around children, because children are going to ask you to explain everything. They're going to ask you to explain oxygen, why the sky is blue, why this, why that. It's kids. So because that's what they're going to do, it's actually your responsibility to develop the language in order to explain things to children. And straight black brothers, it's your job to explain sexual diversity and orientation to younger kids. So rather than lament the fact that that's your job, learn how to do it. Very simple. Uncle Van, how can two women have a kid? Well, they either adopted the kid or one woman was inseminated and then they have the kid. The most important thing is, younger brother, is that loving families come in all different types of ways. Well, why are two women together? Because it's very simple. Some boys like boys. Some girls like girls. Some girls like boys and girls. Some boys like boys and girls. And everyone, as long as they're safe and consenting, can do whatever they want, and they should get the same type of love and appreciation and acceptance from everybody. You wouldn't want anybody getting on you for something that your body tells you to do, right? For who you are naturally. You don't want anybody making those determinations or like teasing you because you're black, or because you're from Baton Rouge, or because you talk a certain way, or because you look a certain way. That's why it's bad to do that to other people, because we shape their lives in negative ways. So look at people and understand and accept that God created everybody in different, diverse ways. And that's a reason why we should love them. That's it. That's all you got to do. And when I say this, man, I'm telling you, that's all you got to do.
Hey, hey. Hey, somebody come get this fool. Somebody come get him, man. Come get him. Come get him. Who died and they just got a spokesperson? What dumb Jewish man, what dumb old rich Jewish man put this cornball up here to talk down to black people like he knows something we don't know? To educate all the black people about all the black people. Oh, let me talk to all the black. Who do you think you are, you big goofball? Yeah, man, who do you think you are, man? Because you got a little podcast some white guy gave you. Did you think you can sit up here and talk down to us? First of all, don't be comparing LGBTQ to black people. Yeah, even Lindsay was like, oh shit. This dumbass done compared him to, he done dug a hole. Yeah, you kept talking. I knew it was only a matter of time when you start explaining. First of all, you ain't even talking from personal experience. Where your kids at? You don't even have kids, do you? You talking about, Snoop talking about his grandson. You talking about uncle. Trump, Snoop wasn't talking about his grandson. We was talking about his grandson, not about his uncle or his nephew. You talking about kids you don't have, about situations you're not even in. Let's go back here. First of all, you set yourself up when you said this. You said, we should have seen this one coming. That's why I was saying we all need to go out and see this movie in droves. Because I knew this was coming. What did you know was coming? That people were not going to like the fact you were going to spring on them, a gay couple with a baby, on kids as young as 4. Yeah, which is what the real problem is. The problem is not that gay people exist. The problem is not that there are gay couples that have kids, whether adopted or artificially inseminated. The problem is that's not what he thought the movie was about. And why is that a fixture, a component of the movie? Why is that something that needs to be highlighted? Why is that in this Buzz Lightyear movie? Why are any romantic relationships in it at all? I thought they was about toys coming to life or some shit. So that's what it was. But see, you're reading into everything because you are so determined to be the spokesman for the LGBTQ. If you ain't being a spokesman for LGBTQ, you being a spokesman for Palestinians. If your ass ain't being a spokesman for Palestinians, you being a spokesman from undocumented people. If you ain't a spokesperson for undocumented people, you're a spokesperson for trees. If you're a spokesperson for trees, you're a spokesperson for aluminum cans on the side of the road. Anything besides black people. You want to be the Negro whisperer to get all the brothers in line. That's your job, huh? You just run around with a tin can, picking up coins from Jewish people, running around telling black people how to act. I get them in line for you, boss. I do it, rest sir, yes me. Just put me up to it. I get right on it from Baton Rouge. Which brings me to another dumbass thing. When you said you have to develop the language. You got to develop the language. You know what, Van? Black people, you may have heard this before because I know you said Dad's from Baton Rouge. He was a regular old N-word from Baton Rouge. Let me tell you something. I'm a regular old N-word from D.C. And as long as I've been black, I've been hearing black people tell me I ain't got to do nothing but stay black, pay taxes, and die. Black people ain't got to develop a language for shit. Neither do white people. Nobody has to develop a language to appease anyone. Particularly when we spending our goddamn money. We don't have to develop a language to have any type of conversations we don't want to freaking have. And it'd be different if you knew that's what this was the move, that this was going to be a component of the show. If you knew this was not just a bug, but a feature of the show, maybe then people wouldn't have went to it. And maybe once the word got out, that's how people stopped going. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to try to pepper them up with this LGBTQ learning moment. Okay? Then he says, straight black brothers. Straight black brothers. Let me talk to my straight black brothers. How can you should be prepared to answer questions. You have to develop the language, you straight black brothers. How can you, you have to, loving families, come in all shapes and sizes. When did you die and come back, Romper Room? When did you die and come back, Mr. Rogers? Eddie Murphy's still here, by the way. We don't need you to be the new Mr. Rogers. This guy wants so badly to be the Negro Whisperer. The guy that gets us all in check. The guy that educates us. But unfortunately, he's not good at words. He's not good at putting together his own thoughts. You're flailing in the water talking about, how would you like it if people judge you because you was different? What if they judge you because you was black or from Baton Rouge? Last time I checked, you could just move from Baton Rouge. You know, no one's against you being gay, straight, trans. That's you. Do you enjoy it, boo-boo? The whole point I got from Snoop's very short. And this is how I know a bunch of y'all are nothing but operatives. I watched that entire broadcast, the entire podcast. The part about the trans, the gay, whatever, that was like 90 seconds. It was like a minute. It was 50-something seconds long. This was almost a 2-hour podcast. And it was about families and dating. He talked about his wife. He talked about his grandkids. He talked about being a good husband. He talked about being supportive for his wife. He talked about how lucky he was marrying her. He talked about when he knew it was her, she was the right one. He talked about letting friends go and switching his life up. He talked about a number of things that were very fucking positive, man. Very extremely positive. And all you and all the corny black whisperers, all the Democrat, liberal, progressive fake shields did was zero in on this. And you know why? We all know why you're going after Snoop. You're going after Snoop because he did the crypto thing with Trump. That's why you're going after Snoop, because you got to control him, because he's the most recognizable, most popular, most crossover, most wildest mass appeal, right? To quote Guru, he has the mass appeal of any recording artist in the country. That's why. People love Snoop, white, black, Asian, Latino, American, Australian, Sweden, African, what you throw it against anybody. He's known the globe over. He can go anywhere. So you want so badly to control him, and since you cannot easily corral him, since he's determined to be his own person and speak his mind, y'all liberals are not like that. And as I was telling y'all earlier, guys, being an independent like I am, not being a Democrat or Republican, I could rock with the conservatives and disagree with them. I could say, hey, I like you guys. I believe that I like the fact that you guys support Second Amendment rights to carry firearms. I agree with that. But I like also the idea everyone should have health coverage. And the right won't cancel me for that. But you guys aren't the same way. You're willing to cancel Snoop over a movie. That's something he did to someone. Not because he said, I ain't hiring no gay people. Get away from me, gay people. Oh, you're contaminating my kids. Get the hell away from me, gay people. He can do that, you know. He has a lot of people that he employs. You ain't talking about that. You're talking about his opinion about a movie that he had his grandson in. He didn't even say the movie wasn't good. He didn't even shit on the movie. He just said, I wasn't ready for what I had to deal with at that moment. I'm just here watching the movie. I didn't know I was had to answer questions too, solve problems. But see, you guys are so vindictive. You're so controlling. Van, you're not a white man. You're a black man. And as a black man, you should understand that you are not in control of what other black people think. You know, it's usually the white liberals that think they could tell black people how to act, what to feel, what to do. Pick that up, Negro. Bring that over here. Put that over there, Negro. Sit that down. Be a good Negro. Do that over there. Usually it's white people that's, presumptive, entitled assholes. It takes a lot of doing. It takes a lot of doing for basically an average intelligence having nigga from Baton Rouge to get up on a microphone and tell black men, grown-ass black men with kids, you said, let me tell my older black brothers something, let me educate them. You are an arrogant dude, man. You're a pretty arrogant dude for whose claim of fame is telling Kanye West that he didn't know what he was talking about. That's really what you're probably famous for. And I don't think that gives you carte blanche. You talking about carte blanche for this movie, I don't think that gives you carte blanche. Carte blanche to tell black people how to father, how to husband, or what movies we should enjoy with our kids. Fuck out of here, man. Disrespectful. Yeah, man, you disrespectful. You out of line. And you know, high learning, you need to change the title to non-learning. Non-learning, because this is the second time I had to cook your ass. This is the second time I had to cook you, and you thought you was cooking. You thought you was cooking. Now, what you thought was nobody was going to roast your ass. And I'm sure others have. I'm just glad I had my opportunity to. I roast you when you came on my show, and I just roasted you again. Tastes like chicken. Baton Rouge style. All right, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this one. Was he right or was he wrong? You know what I think. I need to know what you think. Yeah. High learning, boy. High learning. Lower expectations. Lower expectations. Yeah, I doubt I'll hear from him this time. Though the last words he said was, Tim, you have a great show. We should do this again. Yeah, you could come on my show next time. That was his last words. Or was it, oh, Tim, man, next time you have criticism, criticize away, brother. Well, I just did. Hey, look, man. Hey, man, we don't mean no harm. We got to call it like we see it. Tastes like pork? Yeah, it tastes like pork. That's a better one. Who said pork? That one brother said it tastes like pork, fam. What's wrong with these brothers, man? I tell you, man, give a brother a rope, he won't be a cowboy. All right, man. Tore his ass. All right, guys. Dana Mitchell's in the building. Dana. Thank you, Dana. Dana Mitchell came through. Wolfpack, I was trying to do the gold, but I missed. So put this to the gold. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Dana. I don't know. I appreciate you as always, sister. Bro, thank you for supporting this channel. You make it possible for us to keep doing what we're doing. And I appreciate you. You know I got nothing but love for you. But I had to get Van. Had to get him. Nobody want to see that in a cartoon movie with the kids. They should have had that in the trailer. Yeah, that should have been in the trailer so we could have known what was going on. Then Stoop would have known. Hey, what's up, Ebony? How you doing? Good to see you as well, Ebony. The whole crew. That's all I got, man. Look, man, I'm still trying to work out the kinks with this OBS. But we got no problems with our live stream. Live stream's going well. Software's gone and things are back to normal. Only difference is I'm missing some of my bells and whistles. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back on Friday. We're gonna do what we do. Don't forget, go to TimBlackTV.com to check out more of our content. Go to Join Tim Black to become a member of this Tim Black Wolfpack. $5 a month gets you signed up. I got number love for you. I'll see you next time. Yo, Buck, remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. Black Mamba, Ebony, don't let nobody take your cornbread. We'll be back soon. All right, I'm done, man. My people, my people, my people. How I go? Wolfpack in the building.